Okay, this video is to get you going on the apartment shopping assignment. So first thing you're going to open up this, first thing you're going to do is watch this short video. And now you're watching this video. So we're going to open up this Excel file. Go ahead and download it, open it. And remember from the first video, the general rule is to not spend more than 1/4 of your pay on rent. So we put that category here. But let's calculate what we think our monthly earnings will be so that we can figure out what a quarter of that is. And the spreadsheet will do the calculations for us. So hourly pay, let's just assume that you just graduated high school, you've got a minimum wage job. And so minimum wage right now in Colorado, when I'm making this video is, well, better verify that. Let's see what we're at. Make sure that's 2021. Okay, yep, 1232. Okay. Now, expected hours worked each month. Well, if you're working 4 weeks, roughly 4 weeks times 40 hours a week, that's a full-time job because 8 hours a day times 5 days a week is considered full-time. So that would be 40 hours a week. 40 times 4 would be 160. Now it's a little more than that because there's not just 48 months, because if you multiply 4 times 12 months of the year, it's only 48. There's another 4 weeks because you got 52 weeks in the year. So really it's a little more than that, so I like to add one more day to make it a little more accurate. So I'll say 168, another 8 hours on there. And so now you can adjust this because maybe you want to make your assumption later on when we start looking at your options for renting. You might say that you're going to work more than that. Maybe you're going to make a higher wage, or you're going to take on more hours, more overtime hours, or have a second job. And that's fine. You can increase that number. All right, so expected monthly earnings. We're going to make a formula here. Type in equals, click on that cell, multiplied by that cell. I'm just using my arrow keys, but you can click on it and hit enter. So a total of $2,000 roughly, just over $2,000 a month if you're earning minimum wage. And then another formula equals 0.25 times this cell. And let's see what we get. So about 517. So we want to keep our rent. If we're just making this amount, only working this many hours, pulling in this much every month. So with these assumptions, we shouldn't rent a place more than that would cost us more than $517 a month. All right, next thing you're going to do is you're going to be filling in these 3 options. So we're going to go search online and find, that should say option 3. I'll have to fix that. And so we're going to go to, just do a search, apartments for rent, Colorado Springs. So in this assignment, you guys are allowed to pick any location. I'm not going to constrain you, to say to the west side of Colorado Springs where Coronado is located, or the east side, or north, south, whatever. Whatever you want to find in Colorado Springs, that's fine. So what I'd like you to do though is find a place from more than one site instead of finding all 3 options from this side or any of these others. Maybe what I'd like you to do is have some experience with each of at least 3 different sites. Now we're going to use some filters. So we just said our max price is $517, so I'm going to use the filter of 500. I'm going to leave it at no pets. Need at least 1 bedroom. Let's see here. And if you want to put a studio, that's fine. So look at that. It already filtered me down to 2 locations in Colorado Springs. And this one's on Nevada. It's pretty conveniently located. So I'm just going to click on this guy and then look at the details. Okay, so if they're saying the rent is $400 a month, I'd fill that in. What other information am I looking for? What's the address? Going to put that in there. Does this, are you going to be living with roommates, or do you have, or is it divided where you're separate from other people? Are you sharing the kitchen? Do you have a shared bathroom? Estimated utilities, cost for parking. Now, it might not list some of this information. You might have to just, do a search online and say, what's the estimated utilities if they don't have it on that site. or just keep going, leave it blank, and then look at other sites, and then just use a comparable. If you find that other ones are I don't know what, maybe say $50 a month, then you can fill all three of these for utilities at $50 a month. But I want you to search for that and see if you can find what an estimated utility is. And then for parking, now if this is on Nevada, if it's North Nevada, north of downtown, they don't have, you don't have to pay for parking on the street, so that would be free. So you put in 0. But go through, gather the information, and that's it for today's assignment, is to gather these three, and then you're going to explain which option would you choose and why. Maybe you're going to assume it's close to your work, and that's why, so that then you wouldn't have to drive. But just give a brief explanation of which of the three do you think is the best option. All right. Now, I'm not going to constrain you guys. You can be more. It can be more than 2,000, like I said. You can pretend, but I do want this to be a max of $20 an hour. I don't want anyone to put higher than 20. To be a little more realistic. There may be a few of you that could get more than that, but let's keep it realistic.